It is nothing new that the Zionists, they are brutal. Earlier this year of January 2024, a restaurant owner of Palestinian descent was harassed by Zionists. We have seen also what is happening right now in Israel itself. Zionists, they are asking the government to legalize raping Palestinian prisoners of war. In fact, in one video, we have seen them banging on the door of the prison cells, asking the government to open those gates, those doors, so that they could go inside and rape those Palestinian women. Again, the Zionist lunatics are breaking all rules and crossing all limits. Let's take a listen at this video. This woman, she was walking around, and all of a sudden she noticed that a bunch of Jew people, they were holding the Palestinian flag and they were protesting against the genocide happening in Gaza. Take a look at her reaction when she found out. She was screaming, she was crying, and she was forcing one bystander there. Actually, he was also taking part in the protest, and she was trying to snatch his phone away from him. Let's take a listen. Don't go anywhere. You want to see the whole video.
He comes from Israel. Our people come from Israel. You have come your people.
Zionism is a political movement which is causing bloodshed.
That's where our family is from. I'm from Israel. How can you hold that flag?
This is because the actions of the Zionist people, they are
What are you talking about? That's where our ancestors.
We lived in a beautiful
What
peace.
flag is that? How can you say that? You're a Jew.
We lived in a beautiful peace with Palestinian people for hundreds of years.
How can you say that? You're not a Jew. You're not a Jew. How dare you?
When Zionism
You're not a Jew.
when Zionism they cause bloodshed. They cause rivers of bloodshed.
How can you say that? You're Jewish. How can you shame your own people?
Who is a Jew?
We're Jews. This is our people.
He was against Judaism.
We're all Jews here, all right?
Yeah, so how are they saying that?
Because they believe in Jewish understanding.
I don't want that.
And
the Talmud says about our country like that.
That is our country. How dare you say that about our own people? What's wrong with you? Fuck you!
Before I show you the baby and make points on that one, I just want to make a few comments here. The only thing they know, the Zionists, about Zionism is that Zionism equal to Judaism, means there is no separation between the two. But of course that is not the case with the Jews themselves. They believe that Zionism is a totally separate concept outside of Judaism. In fact, a lot of them believe that this contradicts with Zionism, this religion of Judaism. But for Zionists, they are brainwashed to the point by the Western media and by their own government that they see no difference. Part of it explains why they have banned TV channels, mainstream medias like Al Jazeera, because the government, the Zionist propagandists, they do not want you to watch anything other than what they are feeding you on a daily basis. This woman, she cannot believe, this is unfathomable for her to see this Jew. They were standing there holding Palestinian flag. For her, it is not offensive. For her, this takes these people out of the fold of Judaism. In other words, you cannot be a Jew if you are not a Zionist. This is the level of brainwashing going on. At the same time, what I also want you to understand is the facial expression of this lady. She is furious, she is fuming, she is very, very hostile towards her own people. These people are all Jew. She said, I am a Jew too. But take a look at her action. Take a look at how she is trying to snatch that phone away from the other guy who said, I am a Jew too. It shows how much hatred they have against anyone who would go against Zionism. In other words, they would love you to be a Jew as long as you are a Zionist. If you do not recognize Zionism, in other words, they will go after you in any way, shape or form possible. They will kill you, they will put you in jail, and this is why we have seen a lot of Jews that do not prefer to live in Israel. Why? Because in their country they face persecution from the government if they raise their voice against Zionism. Guys, this lady's facial expression says volumes. Take a listen a little bit more, and at the end you also want to see how this all came about. She was not just hostile towards them, she lost it so much that somebody had to come and pull her. Number two, you can see the stroller right there. She was walking with her baby, most likely it's her baby on Charles, and then she stopped by to shout at these people. Number three, guys, if you have a baby with you, you do not just raise your voice because that affects the baby. And I believe she is the mother of the baby, and the baby was definitely affected by her raising of voice, because when the mother gets agitated, when the mother gets upset, the baby is also affected. You can see that on the face of a baby. This is what I believe happens with a baby when mother is screaming. Therefore, she doesn't even care for anybody, doesn't even care for her own baby's safety and protection, none of those. The moment you criticize Zionism, the moment you stand for the cause of Palestinian, you become someone so hated by this Zionist. And this also shows the level of brainwashing that went on in the mind of this lady. Unbelievable. I have never seen anyone, any group, any religious community people who are so vicious, who are so violent when it comes to standing up for what they believe. Now we have to change that narrative and try to establish our narrative, which is that regardless of what you follow other than the religion, because you cannot criticize your religion, anything and everything is up for criticism. Zionist movement, a government in a country, even though they're following Sharia, anything and everything is subject to criticism. Nobody is perfect. We are not created perfect. But for the Zionist, dear brothers and sisters, if you're watching, Zionism is perfect. It is actually more than perfect, and therefore nobody dares to raise their finger against Zionism and criticize this cult. That's what I call it. This is a sheer brainwashing. New to this channel, consider subscribing. See you in the next video.